Okay, so here goes my first video upload, hopefully to YouTube. It's on safe cutting practices with your rotary cutter. I have here a piece of fabric, randomly picked up off of my floor actually, because I'm still working on cleaning my studio. I have my cutting mat, self-healing. This one is quite old, but self-healing cutting mat. I have my 1/4 inch or so, excuse me, 1/8 inch or so thick rotary cutting ruler. And oh, well, I need the cutter too. Where'd my cutter go? There it is. Okay. Cutter. Notice the safety is on. I cannot open it yet. I've taken my piece of fabric and I've laid it out so that the whole thing is on mat. And, well, it's still got its fold from the bolt on it. If you've pre-washed it, please fold it back and press it. First thing we're going to do is straighten the edge. Over here, we're going to take a horizontal line on our ruler, line it up with the fold on the fabric, and move it to the side just enough that you've got fabric all the way across. I'm going to unlock my blade. I'm going to hold my ruler in place with my fingertips of my left hand. That spreads the pressure out. It's much less likely to move. And I'm going to run my blade right along the edge of the ruler. You'll see my index finger is along the top of the cutter. I am holding it open with my hand, with my other fingers, and it's all at about a 45-degree angle, all the way going up to my elbow. It cuts off, and I have a straight edge. Now, since this is a small mat on a big table, I'm going to bundle up the rest of the fabric so it's all on top of my mat. Turn my mat around the other way. I'm trying to make sure you have visual on the edge of the mat there. Now, I'm going to cut a 2.5 inch strip. So, I'm going to go 1, 2 1/2. Find that line on the ruler, 2.5 inches from the long edge. Line it up on that straight cut that we just made. Pick up my closed rotary cutter, put it in place. Make sure that my horizontal line now here is evenly on the fold, and I am going to cut. Now I can hear that this old mat had a dead spot in it, so I went and did it twice. Now, without moving the hand holding the ruler strip down, I'm going to very slightly pull away the fabric, pull away the ruler. I have a beautiful 2.5 inch strip if my fabric hasn't moved. And this has, so I'll show you what else we can do. Since I do tons of scrap quilts, I'm going to lay it back down with the straight edge on my mat. You notice I have this little error here. I'm going to trim this down to a 1.5 inch strip, which I will put into my collection as a 1.5 inch strip. This extra I will use to tie up tomatoes. Now I have a 1.5 inch by width of fabric strip, and that's fine. I will set it aside, and I will come and cut a 2.5 inch. When I'm cutting scraps, and to me, a scrap is anything less than about 1/4 yard. These are the two sizes I cut them to. Oops. 2.5 by width of fabric if I have it. Otherwise, whatever length I have. And 1.5. Normally, a fabric piece this large would simply be folded and put in my stash, which I keep sorted in shelves by about how much yardage I have. So I have shelves for 1/4 yards, I have a shelf for fat quarters, I have a shelf for half yards, I have a shelf for full yards, and then I have a shelf for anything larger than that. I also subdivide those shelves in half with warm colors towards one side and cool colors towards the other side. For me, that works just fine. When I have really large amounts, anything a yard or more, I actually wrap the fabrics around my ruler, my long ruler, as if it was a bolt board. They are cut, then they are all folded uniformly. They are neat and easy to access, and I can visually see about how much fabric I have. The thicker the folded pieces, the more fabric I have. Be safe with your rotary cutter. Never put it down open, and when possible, keep it locked. Hope this helps. Have a good day.